This is a parade of one. You march past the specialists who sit in the judge's stand, surrounded by diplomas, their instruments, and many years of experience. Back straight, head up, mouth open, I marched by for their examination. Each time I passed them, I must run around the block and march past them again, waiting anxiously as they hold up their placards. I await their judgment to the question at hand. Will my voice ever come back? The wait is agonizing. Finally, a response. There it is in bold black letters. Yes! My heart leaps with joy. I can see the pieces of my life fitting back together again. This whole experience becoming a story I will actually be able to tell. It's that feeling of waking from a long, painful dream. But there's another placard from another specialist. Maybe. My heart sinks. Now I see movement among the specialists, one by one, as they raise their placards. Without a doubt, says one. Very doubtful, says another. Signs point to yes. Don't count on it. Reply hazy. Try again. As their opinions bob to the surface, only one thing is clear. These experts do not know. Their conclusion? Only time will tell the answer to my question. If, in a year or so, my voice comes back, the answer was yes. If it does not, the answer was no. I must wait and see more specialists. Waiting gives me time to ponder this cosmic joke, for that is how I now think of it. That gives me hope, because if it is some sort of joke, all I need to do is finally get it. And it's at that moment that I'll suddenly be cured. I myself have told this sort of story. They end like this. And so the princess looked down from the palace window to the street below, where she saw that tiny man with a huge hat and a cabbage tied on to his leg. The scene was so funny that she burst out laughing, and with that laughter, her muteness was cured forever. I can see the humor in my situation. I really can. But I'm not laughing. All I can think is that there are some things in this world that should be funny, and they're not. My father once told me about a lecture he had attended. The topic was humor, and the speaker was Harpo Marx. He said it was a crushing disappointment. Nothing was funny from the moment Harpo opened his mouth. It wasn't that what he said wasn't funny, it was that he said it at all. When it was over, the audience left quietly, an icon shattered. A talking mime and a silent storyteller, no shortage of material here. I tell myself this must just be a matter of how I'm looking at it. I tend to be pretty quick with reframing, the spin thing. It's a skill of mine. I'm the first to find opportunities among the ashes. I can usually find the silver lining before the raindrops hit. The bigger the pile of manure, the more magnificent the horse. I can make metaphors out of molehills. As a storyteller, it's what I do. Take some bad experience and spin it into a story. The worse the experience, the better the story. But this one isn't spinning. Well, I take that back. It is spinning. Very quickly, in fact, but the wrong way. It's spinning downwards. I see a path of despair opening up before me, spiraling down toward purgatory. It leads to that innermost circle, reserved for those who set out to do one thing well and do it badly. This is the realm of the truly pathetic. Here you will find comedians whose jokes aren't funny, writers who can't write, working on computers with failed hard drives. Each night together, they gather on a large stage in a vast empty theater. There, under a light bulb that is burned out, with a microphone that doesn't work, they do mime for the blind. Do you sense a tone of bitterness in this article? Because it's there, it's subtle, you know? It gets more bitter, watch. On the wall is a large sign with that famous quote from Mark Twain. Put all your eggs in one basket and watch that basket. It has been amended, so it now reads, and watch that basket fall. The stage is crowded in this den of futility. Still, when they see me, they move aside, revealing a large pit in the center of the stage. This is a very special place within that circle, reserved for those who are not merely pathetic, but wallow in their self-pity. A traffic cop, who happens to have no arms, motions me toward it. That's a pretty terrible image. I have to admit, it's an appealing offer, this well of wallowing. Yet, halfway there, I hear something else. Strains of violin music, they come from far away. It's Beethoven's Sixth Symphony, always my favorite because of the story behind it. It's the one he composed just after he went deaf. As I strain to find the source of the sound, I can barely make out another world high above me. Through the clouds, I see patches of bright colors. These paintings are by Matisse, the ones he did late in life when he was blind. There's another world up there, a paradise for those who overcome their disabilities. There, Helen Keller leads tours, and that blind astronomer, the one portrayed in the movie Contact, points out the wonder of the stars. A crowd cheers as Tom Dempsey, the place kicker with only half a foot, kicks yet another field goal. Bless you. But how do I get there? Wait, a hand is reaching down to me. It's a long way, but I see the face of the man with the hand, talking to me with a gentle lisp. Joel, he says, we all have disabilities. Come join us. It's Oliver Sacks. I reach up to him, stretching as high as I can. As I touch his hand, the music stops. The paintings disappear. The stars, Dempsey, and the crowd are all gone. And the doctor before me is no longer Oliver Sacks. It is another doctor. I am neither in paradise nor purgatory, but a doctor's office in San Francisco. I have reached another specialist. This one is a specialist among specialists. He is from Eastern Europe and has a name that cannot be pronounced, but would end a game of Scrabble. He knows more about my condition than any doctor on earth. He takes a long look down my throat, examining my vocal cords and searching for my voice. He's silent for a long time. I beg him to tell me what he sees. What do I see? I see two rabbis. They are arguing over Talmud, but the one on the right is silent. Why? That is the question. I believe he is silent because he knows a secret. There's a long pause. He knows why God laughs. One of my great joys as a storyteller is when I hear a story that sweeps me up and carries me away. There comes a moment in such a story when I find myself saying, I have no idea how the story will end, and I love it. Looking back over a career of gathering and telling stories, these are the moments I remember. Yet, I've found these moments are much more pleasurable to hear about in a story than to live through in real life. In fact, I would go so far as to say that the more enjoyable these moments are in fiction, the more agonizing they are in life. It may be my flaw as a storyteller, but I have a weakness for simple, schmaltzy endings. If this were a story I was making up to tell, it would end like this. As he looked at the glow of the candles, he felt a strange sensation in his throat. When he went to sing the blessings, he found that his voice had returned. But I am not the one telling it. I'm merely living it. So the ending is a mystery to me as well. But if the rabbi speaks, I'll let you know. That was... So that was the article, and I have to say I was very proud of this writing. I really polished it, and I thought I just got it perfect. People responded well, and then I really had something there. Now then, strange things happened when I wrote this. It's it's yet another irony, if one needs ironies in life. I mean, if I could sell ironies on the wholesale market, I'd be wealthy today, right? But there's a point in my book, and you might remember it. It doesn't make a big deal, but I'm trying to talk to my daughter, and I mentioned that the house across the street